You're what?
Fortunately, I'm just a clown without even trying. Just knock things over. So I'm making a video about non-alcoholic beer, and I wanted to talk about why, because I think some people will probably be wondering that. Why are we talking about non-alcoholic beer when there's alcoholic stuff available? Non-alcoholic beer is having a really big moment, in part due to the sober curious movement, but also just to the fact that a lot of people like beer and other alcoholic drinks, but don't always necessarily want to deal with the effects of alcohol, understandably so. So some big breweries have been making non-alcoholic versions, which is exciting because for years and years the only non-alcoholic beers that existed were like O'Doul's and St. Pauli Girl and, you know, whatever your uncle orders at restaurants. And they typically have had a reputation of being fine. Some really big commercial brands have gone into non-alcoholic brewing, like Lagunitas and Brooklyn Brewery. But there are also some new breweries popping up that do exclusively non-alcoholic beer, like Athletic Brewing Co. and Surreal Brewing, that have grown really fast and are getting a lot of attention. So we should see what the hype's about. People like it for a reason, or is it just a sad diet food that they're pretending tastes good? Like Snackwells. When I started this, I wanted to find out how non-alcoholic beer is made, because it seems like no one will tell me. I've reached out to several breweries that make non-alcoholic beer and asked them what their process is for making it, and most of them won't tell me because it's proprietary information. But we do know some of the ways that non-alcoholic beer is typically made, and we can talk about that in a little bit.
Actually, let's get into that right now. To get super basic, one of the most important steps in the beer brewing process is fermentation, where you let it sit for a couple of weeks so the yeast can eat up the sugar, metabolize it, and poop out alcohol and carbon dioxide. But it also creates chemical compounds that give nuanced flavors and basically make beer taste like beer. Fermentation doesn't happen, all you have is a sticky, sweet, flat liquid that doesn't taste anything like beer. You can't just carbonate it and go. So most non-alcoholic beer is made by first letting it ferment, then removing the alcohol in one way or another. So according to my sources, which are linked below, the original method for making non-alcoholic beer was to brew regular beer, then heat it to neutralize the alcohol. The problem with that method is it also kills off a lot of the flavor and complexity, leaving you with a really bland beer. Katja's dad used to work in commercial brewing, and he says another common way non-alcoholic beer is made is by adding water to a finished beer under the pressure of carbon dioxide. This allows you to dilute the alcohol content without also watering down the taste. Then there are some newer methods, like reverse osmosis, which essentially filters out the alcohol, and vacuum distillation, wherein beer is heated up in a vacuum, so its boiling point is lower and you can heat it just enough to kill off the alcohol without destroying everything else. This is the method Heineken uses for their 0.0, which we're trying today. I don't know how the rest of the beers we're having today are made, because most of these breweries are pretty tight-lipped.
We're gonna drink a bunch of beer that doesn't have alcohol and see if it's any good. Please give a warm welcome to our guest, my roommate, Katja. How do you feel about trying non-alcoholic beer?
Fine.
Do you wish that it was alcoholic?
Kind of.
So we can start with Heineken 0.0 alcohol-free, which I believe is a new product. And who doesn't like Heineken? Actually, a lot of people. A lot of people don't like Heineken, but I like it. So I figured it's a good starting point. I know what a normal Heineken tastes like, and I like it. So let's see how the 0.0 compares. Okay, Heineken 0.0.
Better than Heineken normal.
I like it. I like this a lot.
It's so caramelly and like doesn't have the skunk smell of the normal Heineken.
I don't mind the skunk smell, but this does taste just like really light and fresh. This is like, it tastes like grown-up soda.
Yeah,
right?
like this is like refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
I expected it to be stronger, like more flavorful.
Do you think it's too weak? Or
No, because you don't.
Right, it's
You
like
don't need it to be strong, I guess.
right. It's like an appropriate amount of
It's
flavor.
an appropriate amount of flavor. No, I like this. It's pretty good. Like, I would finish this.
I'm not upset that we have 5 more of these.
Yeah, that's true.
It's beer that you can drink while you're working. Beer that you can drink while you're doing yoga. And by you, I mean me.
It's definitely like more robust than a lot of American beer with alcohol.
It tastes like beer. It tastes like beer, and it's quite good. And personally, I think that beer without the cut of alcohol tastes even better. I know not everyone feels that way. No, it's true. Some people actually genuinely like, you know, the ethanol burn.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, either. Me too. So this is Lagunitas IPNA, their non-alcoholic IPA, which is new and it contains less than 0.5% alcohol. Lagunitas is, as anyone watching this probably already knows, is a very big, very popular California brewery, and they are really well known for their IPAs, which I guess most breweries are now. Nowadays, everyone is known for their IPAs. But Lagunitas has done some killer IPAs in the past, and they're usually pretty aggressive. So I'm curious to see how a non-alcoholic one will taste.
Ooh, yeah.
It is. Huh. That's interesting. Oh, you don't like it?
It starts out and then it's just like drops off.
It has like a really funky hop smell. Like, funky. Like, indeed. I'm actually getting a lot of like citrusy, fruity flavor in this.
Grapefruit.
Grapefruit, you think? Honestly, I like this because these are the parts that I like about IPAs without the parts that I don't like. You get weird flavor combinations from the hops and different notes letting out without bitterness or ethanol burn at the back. Again, I know that's not everyone's taste, but I like this.
I'd mix it with lemonade.
So I quite like it. I think if you are a really serious IPA person, this might just be a letdown for you, but I really like it. If you like lighter beers and you don't crave that bitterness as much, then this might be for you.
It's like a fruit soda.
Bitter,
Fruit
but like
soda.
not a sugar bomb.
Yeah, like from Italy.
Yeah.
Imagine traveling.
Brooklyn Brewery, of course, another big major brewery in the American craft scene. Their Brooklyn Special Effects is their first non-alcoholic beer, and it is described as a non-alcoholic hoppy brew. Contains less than 0.5% alcohol by volume. I think it's interesting that serious brewers with big reputations like Lagunitas and Brooklyn Brewery are stepping into non-alcoholic beer. I think it's a risk for them, and since they're taking that risk, I'm excited. I just like brewers experimenting and doing new things, and this counts as that. And this is especially cool because it's a way that beer can be more inclusive. It's super malty. A little bit of that, like, a little bit like, I just want to say malty because it tastes like malt as in like a malted milkshake.
Yeah, like caramel.
Like very, aren't hops crazy, man?
Yeah, no.
Beer's wild, man. So, what do you think? Do you like the Brooklyn?
Yeah, it's alright. I mean, it's not my favorite. But
Not your favorite?
pretty good.
It might be my favorite so far.
Is it because it's from Brooklyn?
I miss Brooklyn. When we were at the beer store, there was a 4-pack from KCBC, which I never see on the West Coast, and KCBC is probably my favorite Brooklyn brewery, so I was like, I'm getting it. I don't care if it's $25 for 4 beers. I need this. And I'm gonna drink it, and I'm gonna like it. Okay, so next up is Athletic Brewing Co., which is having a really big moment right now. They are originally from Connecticut, but they just recently opened up another brewery, I believe, in San Diego. So it should be really easy for Californians to get their hands on this. And it's been really well rated. They've gotten a lot of positive feedback for being one of the first non-alcoholic beers that people will actually reach for and seek out. We're gonna try their Run Wild non-alcoholic IPA. 2 clowns making a video. All right, let's try it. This one I'm very excited to try, actually.
Oh, I can already tell.
That I think it's the most IPA-like
Yep.
one that we've had so far of the hoppy IPA style.
Just keeps getting more and more.
Well, I like it because I think it's a little bit more complex. You get a little bit of citrus and funk on the nose.
It keeps happening in your mouth.
Ugh. You don't like it?
No, it's interesting because it keeps happening. It's like it tastes one way and then it changes.
Right?
It gets more bitter.
I think that's probably what people like about IPAs is the fact that they tend to be flavor bombs. I see why people like this.
I want to see what else they have.
Yeah, they have other styles. They have a stout. They have some other IPA blends. I'm impressed by how complex and interesting this is. I feel like for a long time, non-alcoholic beer has been like an afterthought. And to me, it's very clear that this brewery, Athletic Brewing Co., is their thing is non-alcoholic beer made with organic malt. Okay, so our last one, Surreal Brewing Company, Campbell, California. That's where my friend is from.
You have a friend?
Johnny. So Surreal Brewing Co. is a Bay Area-based non-alcoholic beer company. We picked this one up. This is their Chandelier Red IPA. This brags that it has 33 calories and no sugar. I think the Athletic Brewing Co. is 70 calories. So that's another thing. If you're interested in non-alcoholic beer as a healthier, lower calorie option than regular beer, you have some good options now. We should have just like added like an O'Doul's in just for comparison.
Yeah.
But
then we would have had 6 O'Doul's.
But then we would have had 6 O'Doul's. And I already feel like we have a lot of beer to get through.
Yes, we do.
We're gonna be so hydrated.
She won't drink water.
I don't like it. I don't know. This one's a little bit like lighter in body. It's not as powerful as some of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not as powerful. Contain. Having tried all these, I feel like they're good. Like non-alcoholic beer in general is still definitely a different thing than alcoholic beer. There's definitely a taste difference, which might be an obstacle for some people. For some people, it's going to be like, no go, no thanks, I'm not into it ever. But I think for everyone else, what's not to love about beer that you can drink without getting a hangover?
If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. If you're into beer stuff, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DValentino. Head to my channel to see more videos about beer. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these or other non-alcoholic beers and what you thought about them. I would love to know.
That is lazy and chonky right there.
Athena, can I ask you for your opinion on this beer?
Oh.
No